We were warriors. We were fighting for our freedom and the dignity of our people. We have lost. I am that song. I will tell you about the last days of our greatest warrior, DxWnd, my father. He gave his life so I can bring you the warning of the shadow that rises.
I knew you'd come here first when you returned from your journey.
Brother,
Are you still worried about the Rune Warriors?
don't you sometimes ask yourself who they were and where they are now?
The end of the circle also broke the Rune magic. The age of the Rune has passed for good. Wherever they are now, they're at peace. But the two of us will be in big trouble with Thora if we're late for the celebration. Let's go and pick up Leah at her house.
Welcome to the SpellForce 2 Shadow Wars tutorial. Here you will learn the basic handle in case you would like to reread parts of the... In the center of the screen, you can see your in-game character. The avatar that... Selected characters are marked by a colored... On the bottom left, you see the selection window. You can move the viewing area to have a look around the world. Either use the directional buttons on your keyboard, or just move the mouse pointer to the edge of the screen. Or you can keep the right mouse spot. Black areas are still undiscovered. These parts of the map will only become visible once you've sent your own units there. The mini-map in the right bottom corner. Green dots on the mini-map represent your own units and buildings. You can select the avatar anytime just by left-clicking the avatar portrait in the upper left corner. A right-click centers the viewing area on him or her. Try it. Center the viewing area on the avatar by right-clicking on his or good. You can move the viewing area around and also change the distance. Click on the mouse wheel until the view changes into pursuer's perspective. Good. If you keep the right mouse button pressed now, you can freely change the direction of view with the mouse. In the pursuer's perspective, you can also operate your avatar directly with the directional buttons or the WASD keys. Simply press the T button to quickly go back to the default isometric view. Give it a try. In this view, you can only move your avatar around the world by clicking on your mouse. Make sure your avatar is selected and then right-click on the glowing mark in the landscape. Slightly to the east, an enemy just appeared. It's time you faced your first combat. Make sure your avatar is selected. Then right-click on your opponent to attack him. Your avatar then fights the enemy on his or her own. If you place the mouse over a unit, a bar appears above it, showing the health points of that unit. Very good. You succeeded and gathered experience points. You'll get experience for completing tasks, defeating enemy camps, and for victories over especially powerful opponents. Select your avatar now. The selection window at the lower edge shows a bar for the experience points you've gained. It won't be long until you reach the next level. Yet another enemy has shown up. Your brother Boar is in trouble. Help him and fight his enemy. Congratulations! You've gained experience and have reached a higher level. If you place the mouse over a unit, its level is shown above it. With each rise in level, you can further develop your skills. Can you see the plus sign on the right of the screen? Click on it. In these menus, you can see your avatar with his or her equipment on the left, and the skill tree on the right. With each new level, you can invest 1 point into your skills. The skill tree is subdivided into the branches Combat, and each skill has 3 levels you need to learn before you can. Many skills allow you don't have to concentrate on combat or magic forever. With each now, assign the point you want to either combat very good or what. In the window next to the skill tree, the equipment window, you can see that your avatar's health points and mana have risen too. Mana is the magical power you need to cast spells. Close the equipment menu by clicking on the bag at the top left. Your brother Boar has joined you. He'll accompany you as a so-called hero. Heroes are permanent travel companions who, like your avatar, belong to the blood. Heroes themselves do not keep the left mouse button pressed and move the mouse to draw a frame around your avatar and your hero to select them both. Send them further on to the east until they reach the gate. As soon as you've selected an enemy, buttons for all the possible actions will appear underneath the portraits of your units. This is called the click and fight system. Select the enemy behind the gate, then let your avatar and Boar attack by clicking the buttons for attack under their portraits. The glow effect around the corpse means that the opponent has loot on him. Make sure that either your avatar or Boar are around, and then right-click on the glowing opponent. The little window that has just opened shows the opponent's loot. Pick up the 2 objects by clicking. Well done! The objects you captured are now in your inventory. To check your inventory, open the equipment window again by clicking on the button in the upper left corner. On the right side of the equipment window, there are 3 buttons with which you can open and close the inventory, the spellbook, and the skill tree. Now, open your inventory by clicking on the topmost of the 3 buttons in the equipment window. A little earlier, you captured 2 weapons that are now stored in the inventory. If you place your mouse over them, you'll see detailed information. The magic wand casts magical missiles on your enemies. It doesn't consume mana, but its magic is weaker than the dagger, however, is better. Equipment objects like these weapons. Left-click on the usable object to pick it up with the mouse. Then equip the object with another left-click into the equipment slot for the right hand of your avatar. With a left click, you put the knife your avatar wore before into the inventory. Then close the inventory and the equipment window. Now go with Ball and follow the path.
What the?
Leah, sister.
She stopped breathing. Quick, we need to perform the ritual.
Your sister Leah has been killed. As a Shaikan, you have the possibility to resurrect your siblings in blood. Leah now belongs to your heroes. But hurry, select her body before her portrait fully turns into a skull. Underneath the portraits of Ball and your avatar, resurrect buttons appear. Click on one of them before Leah's portrait turns into a skull. Very good. If your avatar or a hero dies, then another member of the group can resurrect the dead character this way, as long as there are no enemies close by. You also have to react quickly. If the portrait of the dead character or your avatar's portrait fully turns into a skull, the game ends. Your avatar can also summon his or her heroes from any place on the map, as long as none of them are entangled in a fight. Use your avatar's ability to summon Leah. In order to do this, select Leah and click on the Summon Hero symbol underneath the avatar portrait.
Thank you.
Who are these fellows? They carry the banners of the Dark Elves, but look at their hair and their eyes.
Their language was also the language of Dark Elves.
According to their symbols, they seem to be part of a larger group.
There was something about them. Something dark and cold.
We must get back to the fortress as fast as we can.
First, take some more equipment from the chest close to my house. Then we'll leave for the fortress.
You have received a new quest. Open your quest book by clicking on the book symbol in the upper left corner. You have to solve main quests in order to move on in the story of SpellForce 2, Shadow Wars. Side quests are optional, but they'll give you additional experience and precious rewards. And now it's time to dedicate yourself to the current quest called the Pact Attacks. Click on the quest title to get a more detailed description. If a certain place on the map belongs to a quest, you'll see a golden dot appear on the mini-map as soon as you've selected the quest in the quest book. Read through the quest details, then close the quest book again and fight your way on through with Ball and Leah. Congratulations! You've risen to level 3. Your heroes rose together with you and have also reached level 3. Leah has improved her skills in magic and learned a spell. Open up the equipment window again and select Leah's portrait in there. Now open Leah's spellbook. In order to do this, click on the middle one of the 3 buttons on the right side of the equipment window. Your avatar and your heroes each have their own spellbook. They contain their spells and special abilities they learned, along with gaining new skills. When your avatar or hero rises in levels, their acquired spells and abilities will automatically become more powerful. The empty line in the upper part of the spellbook is the spell memory. Your avatar and your heroes can only use the spells and abilities in their spell memory. With a click of the mouse, take up the spell called Flash from Leah's spellbook. Then put it, with another click, into a slot of Leah's spell memory. Excellent! This way, you can always change the currently usable choice of spells and abilities of your avatar and your heroes. Now close the spellbook and the equipment window, and then select Leah. As you can now see, an actions bar with the flash spell is displayed below for Leah. The use of spells and special abilities costs mana, which will regenerate. Underneath the green bar for the health points in the selection window, you can see a blue bar for mana. Make sure Leah is selected. Left-click on the spell Flash in the actions bar, and then left-click again on the opponent behind the gate. You can also use spells and special abilities by selecting a target and then click the click and fight symbol underneath Leah. Defeat the second opponent like this. Since you now know about spells and special abilities, assign the skill point your avatar has won, if you haven't done so already. With his rise to level 3, Bo has achieved rank 2 of the skill Combat. Thus he's attained the fighting skill for a blow with increased damage. You can trigger this special ability just like a spell by either choosing it on Bo's actions bar or by clicking the click and fight symbol underneath Bo's portrait. Now continue further on the path, together with Bo and Leah.
Humans! Wrong place, wrong time. Kill them!
Destroy the enemies attacking Night Zone.
This dark elf has been chased by them. She could have told us what's going on here. I will give her our blood. We must find out what is happening here.
But I was...
Dead, yes. You have received the blood of the Shaikhan. The power of the dragon it contains has brought you back to life.
I owe you my life. Tell me the price I have to pay.
Tell me what is going on here. Who are those warriors? They're no common dark elves.
They are the soldiers of the Shadow Pact, scouts of an army that's marching toward this country, and a part of the army is already on its way to the northwest.
The northwest? That means toward home. We have to light a warning fire, so our people can flee to the fortress in time. Let's go up to the sentry point.
There's still more I need to tell you. I will accompany you on your way.
You resurrected Night Song with the blood bond and made her a member of your group. She remains independent, however, and thus only counts as a companion. Contrary to heroes, companions join you only temporarily. You can't equip them or have any influence on their skills. Continue on the way until you get to the marked spot. You can use some objects, like this lever for example. Make sure your avatar is selected, then click the lever with the right mouse button.
Your village has already been surrounded.
It's too late. They're cut off.
There are too many enemies. You cannot help them anymore.
There is a frontier post of the realm close by. We have to get help from there before these creatures annihilate our village.
Now go to the outpost of the humans in the east, together with your heroes and Night Song.
Away with that.
A sign above a person means you can talk to this character.
Step no further, Dragonblood. What do you want here with a dark elf?
To warn you of an army that is about to...
Select your avatar and talk to...
and whose advanced guard has already encircled our village. We need your help to free it, Knights of the Realm.
A Shaikhan is asking me for help? You are no servants of the light. You'd betray anyone just to suit your needs. My father died simply because he trusted one of you.
That lies far in the past. My people will die. Do you want their blood on your hands, Knight of the Light?
No. We'll help you, under one condition. You have to bring what you begin to an end. Don't ever abandon your people.
I swear by the blood of the dragon in my veins, I'll not be like my ancestors. I'll never abandon my troops. Now help us, please.
May the gods curse you if you ever break your oath. So be it then. We will help you save your village.
You were just given a headquarter. Now you can create craftsmen and build up an army camp. Along with the buildings, you were given some craftsmen. They know how to gather raw materials and build or repair buildings. First, you should make sure your army camp is supplied with enough raw materials. There are the following raw materials: stone, silver, and linya. They are shown as white dots on the minimap. In the beginning, you should gather some silver, so you can hire more craftsmen, and later on recruit a few soldiers to guard the camp. Select a few craftsmen, and with a right-click, send them to work at the highlighted silver deposit. Good! Your craftsmen will now mine the silver and deliver it to your headquarters. In the upper menu bar, you can see how many raw materials you own. Let your craftsmen collect at least 50 pieces of silver. Very good. Now you have enough silver to hire some more craftsmen. In order to do that, select your headquarters. In the actions list below, you see all the different units that can be created at the headquarters. There are also buttons for building upgrades of the headquarters. You will find normal craftsmen in the list on the bottom left. Next to that are more buttons for craftsmen who start gathering raw material as soon as they are close to a deposit. Make sure your headquarters is selected and click on the button for Craftsman Stone until you can see 5 craftsman symbols queue up in the selection window on the left. These craftsmen get to work right away and start gathering stone in the nearest stone deposit. But later on, you can also assign them different tasks. Craftsmen not only gather the raw material, they also know how to erect buildings or how to repair damaged ones. When you select a craftsman, a construction menu appears on the lower edge of the screen. It shows you all the buildings you are currently allowed to build. When you place the mouse over one of the building icons, in order to recruit simple military units, you need a blacksmith. As soon as your blacksmith is finished, you can create soldiers in the headquarters. Attached to your mouse, you now see a preview of the building. Place the building with a click as close as you can to the spot with the glowing mark. Very good. Your craftsmen will now start building the blacksmith. Here's how you speed up the construction of buildings. Simply select more craftsmen as soon as your blacksmith is. Select your headquarters and create at least 5 soldiers. Congratulations! You've just created military. Select your soldiers. Attack the opponents at the glowing mark with a right click and defeat them.
Take them down!
A little farther ahead, a larger force with some mages has set up camp. Mages are long-range fighters who can destroy your soldiers before they reach them. Before you attack this force, you should create a few long-range fighters for yourself. A crossbowman is the simplest long-range fighter. To create him, you have to upgrade the blacksmith into a workshop. Select the blacksmith in your camp and click on the button Workshop in the actions bar on the bottom right. In case you don't have enough stone, your craftsman must first gather more of it. If you enlarge your army, you will soon need more space for military units. Each military unit uses 1 or more unit slots. In the upper menu bar, you can see how many unit slots for military units you have, and how many of them are occupied already. Farms are buildings that increase the number of your unit slots. In case all your craftsmen are busy at the moment, recruit some more normal craftsmen in your headquarters. On the right of the selection window, there is the button for Idle Craftsmen. It shows you the number of craftsmen currently out of work, so you can easily select them. Click on the button Idle Craftsman several times, and each click will add 1 idle craftsman to the selection. Select at least 3 idle craftsmen like this. Now click on Farm in the Actions list and place the construction site on the marked spot with another click. As soon as your craftsmen have erected the farm, the number of available unit slots rises by 5. Select your headquarters. With the enlargement of the forge to a workshop, the recruitment of crossbowmen has become available. Recruit at least 5 crossbowmen. For better control, you should subdivide your army into groups. Groups will help you send units with different abilities into the battle at just the right time. Double-click on one of your soldiers. A double-click selects all the units of the according type that are in the viewing area at the moment. On the upper menu bar, you can see several small buttons. Click on the first one from the left to create a group of your currently selected soldiers at this place. Very good. Underneath the small button, there is a new portrait now. It represents the group and can be used like the portraits of your avatar and your heroes. You can select the group by clicking the group portrait or pressing the 1 button on your keyboard. Now double-click on a crossbowman to select all units of this kind. Create a second group by clicking on the small button next to the first group. Now move both groups close to the enemy camp.
Stay together!
In the following battle, take care that your crossbowmen take out the enemy mages as quickly as possible.
Stay together!
To select the strongest opponent in the current viewing area, you can simply press the tab button on your keyboard. Pressing it again selects the next strongest enemy, and so on. Use the tab button to select an enemy, and the click and fight symbols underneath the group portraits to better focus the attack of your troops on the
Stay
enemy.
together!
Destroy the enemy camps by destroying all enemy units and buildings.
Take your aim! For the light! Take your aim!
Congratulations! You have just mastered your first battle in SpellForce 2 Shadow Wars. This introduction ends here, but in the course of the game, you will get further hints for more developed playing technique.
There you are, at last. You arrived just in time.
We must not stay here. The Norcane says even more enemies will come.
If her news is that important, you should take her to the Patriarch. Proceed with her to the fortress. We'll follow later.
The Patriarch?
Our Lord Ur. He'll know what to do.
Welcome home. We heard about what happened. Keep going up the mountain. The Patriarch is already waiting for you there.
Patriarch.
It's been a long time, my child. Tell me all.
I bring you this Norcane. She knows what's going on.
I am called Nightsong. I bring you news from a war among brothers in the land of the Dark Elves. A part of my people has allied themselves with the Shadows. They call themselves the Pact.
The Shadows.
Creatures from another world, enemies of all life, and they are on their way here, together with an army of the Norcane.
And you want to warn us? Why should we trust you?
Before my father, Craig Unshalak, died, he gave me this, the sigil of the Norcane. That should suffice for a reference.
So Craig was killed?
Yes, his last will was that I should warn the people of the light against the shadows. So I have to continue my way to the kingdom of the humans.
Yes, you will have to go there. And you, child, will accompany her.
But what about the army of the Pact? I have to help defend here.
No, child. You have to get help. Search for Baron Ortbrand in Normal. He'll give you an escort to get to King Ulf. Bring your warning to the king, and come back with an army that can fight against this pact. We will hold position here.
But Patriarch...
You serve a dragon. You are not a commoner.
We are called the Shaikon. Our family has always been in a blood bond with the dragon called Ur. For the 12th celebration of my name consecration, I mixed my blood with the blood of the dragon. Just like all Shaikon do.
Shaikon, in the dark language, means godless.
That's a long story. Now come.
The 1st Legion keeps marching to the north. The 2nd Legion shall set up camp here.
Here we are, just as you wanted us to be. Now explain to me how we're going to get past the dragon or the wall.
Don't you worry. Mother has thought of everything.
Wait! Before you go, I need to tell you something. Come here. We need to talk. I thought we'd have more time before you leave us.
What is it that troubles you, Kolar? Tell me.
We don't talk much about our creator.
Malachi? He created our blood just because he was craving power. The gods have cursed him. It's better for us if we forget about his heritage.
But you know his soul is still in our blood. For generations it's been hiding there from the punishment of the light gods.
Yes. Sometimes I can hear his whispering in my dreams. But those are old stories. We have other troubles right now.
Never underestimate the malignity that sleeps in your blood. I was going to discuss so much with you still, but you need to move on. Be careful, blood of my blood.
Noramar. Let's hope the Shaikon are still welcomed by the Falcons. That's Falcon Castle. They're in Ortbrand's fortress up there. That's where we're going.